guys, welcome back to Vietnamese lesson. Today I will show you how to pronounce Vietnamese alphabet, and for each letter I will give some kind of explanation to it, and yeah, let's begin. So first of all, I think Vietnamese alphabet is kind of very similar to English alphabet, except for all of these letters. Okay, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Except for all the letters that has the mark above them, I think the rest of them are the same as English. Actually, Vietnamese alphabet doesn't have the letter Z. Yes, we do use it in like texting as an alternative for this letter, or a combination of this and this. But I'll explain this later. But in Vietnamese alphabet, we don't have this kind of letter. Okay. So let's begin with the first letter. So for each letter, I will go through 3 points. So first, I will go through its pronunciation. Second, I will give you some words that have the letter in it. It's not some words, I just give you one word and give some kind of explanation to it. And last, I will give you some extra information about a letter if there is any. Okay, so before we go into each letter, I want to tell you this one thing. So in general, Vietnamese alphabet looks like the English alphabet, but the way we pronounce it is really different from the English alphabet. So with the first letter, the way we pronounce it is a. So in order to pronounce this word, I think it's kind of really similar to simple in English. It's like cat, it's like cat, okay? So it's really like the simple. So so just open your mouth wide and just kind of slightly pull your lip corners to the sides and just, let the breath out. And then we have the first letter, a. Okay, so an example for it is ba, which means father in English. S is the first letter. On to the second letter. So the second letter is kind of similar to the first letter, except that the second letter has a mark above it. The way we pronounce this letter is a. Okay, so this is a. The way you pronounce this is it's really similar to this, but you have to make it higher in pitch and a little shorter. It's like this one, this one, It's kind of like certain. It's more certain and it's shorter. Okay, I have you here an example, which is răng, which means snake in English. Again, răng. Okay, so I think you might be asking, why is the way I pronounce this letter separately is so different from the way I pronounce the word that has this letter in it? This is because of the ending consonant. So there's one thing about Vietnamese I think that is really important to know. The fact that you know and pronounce correctly all the Vietnamese letters in the Vietnamese alphabet doesn't guarantee you can pronounce everything, every word in Vietnamese. Yeah, that's the fact. And so I think for the next lesson, I will show you every kind of combinations of the kind of the last part of Vietnamese to show you how to pronounce everything in Vietnamese. So, but for this lesson, I will just give you some of the letter and then kind of explain through it, okay? So for this letter, we have rang, 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 and this letter is a, rang, a, rang. Really different, right? I know it, but yeah. Okay, so the third letter is a, 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 a. Again, just like this letter, please make it short. You should make it shorter and then more certain. A. And the example I have for you is sung, 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 which means yard. I want to make a disclaimer. I was born and raised in the south of Vietnam, so apparently I have Vietnamese certain accent. So the way I pronounce some of the words in this alphabet lesson will be different from a northerner would pronounce it. Yeah, just to let you guys know. Okay, so come back to this letter. So again, the example I have for you is sung, which means yard in English. I have a note for you guys about this letter and this letter. For these two letters, we always have kind of an ending consonant to it, because so for example, for the first letter, we can just end the word here, a consonant, and then the letter, the vowel. But then for this two letters, we can do it. We have to put in an ending consonant, just like in this case it is the end consonant in this to make it a word. Okay, so for example, we cannot write this. No, in Vietnamese there's no word like this, or there's no word like this. No, there's just no word like that. Okay, so next letter we have b, 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 b. I think this is this letter, the way you pronounce this is similar, or if not exactly, from English. B. And we have the example I have here is bố, bố, bố. So actually, bố is also means father in English. So bố and ba is just two ways of saying father. Yeah, so I personally use this word ba, and I think that certain people use this word more often than this word, and this word is more popular in the north of Vietnam. Okay, bố, bố. Next letter, g, g, g. So for this letter, it's similar, but it's not exactly like this simple in English. So for example, in English, we have the word like key, right? So for the k sound here, we actually kind of force the air to go out. But for this one, there's no forcing here. We'll just say go, 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 and just let the air out gently. Go, go. So the example I have for you is cá, 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 which means fish in English. Cá, cá. Can you see the difference? I just say cá really slightly. The C I pronounce here is really slightly. Cá, cá. But if I try to pronounce it like the way I speak English, I would say cá, cá. But in Vietnamese, I just say cá, cá, really gentle. Do you see that? Next letter we have here is y, y, y. So the way you pronounce this is just like this sound in English, just like yes, all right? Yes, and then yeah. So we have yeah, yeah. And then we have an example here, which is yeah, yeah. So yeah and yeah, yeah, which means skin in English. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Next letter, what is different from this letter and this letter? So the next letter has a small line across the letter like this. And this letter is actually pronounced the. It's like the in English. Yes, the. And the example I have here is đi, which means go in English. Đi. Okay, I will go through 7 letters that we have just learned. A, ơ, bờ, cờ, giờ, đờ. Okay? Okay, so that's the first row. Oh my god. Okay, so let's begin the next row. Okay, so this letter is just like this letter, this sound in English. E, 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 e. And the example I have for you is mẹ, 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 which means mother. So because this word, it has kind of this dot underneath it, which is one of the 6 tones in Vietnamese, and you have to make it like, it's kind of like heavier and shorter, a bit shorter. So if it doesn't have the dot here, the way we pronounce it would be mẹ, mẹ. But because it has the dot underneath it, you have to make it kind of heavier and lower in pitch. Mẹ, 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 which means mother, okay? The next letter is e, e, e. It's really similar to this letter, but it has a hat above it. So let's see the difference. E, 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 e. Okay? So the example I have here is we. So this combination of this letter right here and the U letter right here is actually pronounced like this in English. We, and this sound, and then this sound. We. Okay, and this word means hometown in English. Next letter, g, 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 g. Okay, example I have here is gà, 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 which means chicken in English. Gà, gà. Okay, next letter. Hắc, hắc, hắc. Okay, hack, we call it hack, hack. And actually, I don't know why, but it's like in English, this letter is called H, right? H. But most of the word in English, for example, is like hat. This letter, it says that h sound, right? H sound. And the same case is applied for Vietnamese. So we call it hack, but we would just take the first part of the pronunciation and put it here in the word. And then, and the letter, the example I have here for you is how. How. Remember the dot, make it heavier, make it lower in pitch. How. How. Which means study in English. Okay. The next letter is A. A. I think it's A. Vietnamese A is kind of the combination of the long E and the short E in English. It's not too long, but it's not too short as well. A. A. Just relax your mouth and then say A. A. I think it's more kind of laid back compared to this long vowel E here. So in English we call it E, but in Vietnamese, A. A. And then the example I have for you is ye, 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 which means and in English, and in English. So the next letter is ga, 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 ga. But the way we pronounce it in a word is just like this letter. There's no k, ka. There's no forcing here. Okay, so we have, the example I have here is kéo, kéo. Can you see that? There's no forcing. It's like there's no kind of, how can I explain that? There's no kind of forcing. Kéo, no, it's just kéo, 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 just like this case, cá, kéo, okay? Kéo means scissors in English. Next letter, la, la, la. And then we just take the first part of the way we say it and then put it down. So we have la, la, la. Just like the L in English, right? It's just like the L is like lesson, lesson. And then we have this just like in English, la, la. So let me go over the second row. E, g, h, I, k, l. Actually, this letter right here, you can say h, also acceptable. H, e, g, h, or h. Both are acceptable. I, k, l. Okay, let's look at the third row. M, m, m. I think this letter is just like the M in English, just like mom. Okay, and the example I have here for you is môi, môi, which means lips in English. Môi, môi. This letter, n, m, n, okay? N, n, n. And the example is na, 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 which means full. It's like, for example, if you eat too much, and then you are full. So full in Vietnamese is no, 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 okay? This letter, ah, ah, ah. So the way you pronounce this letter is just round your lips and then relax and then just let the air out. Ah, 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 right? It's just like the way you make the word not in English. It's like this one, not. Okay, ah, ah. An example I have here is có, which means have in English. Có. Okay, so again, the C here, don't try to force it. Don't try to force this out. Just say có gently. Có, g. And then có, okay? So this letter we pronounce o, o. So for this letter, we also round our lips, but this one ah and this one o. And I think your lips should be more forward. It's just like, oh my god, oh, right? The first part of oh my god, oh. It's oh, it's not, I think many foreigner will get mixed up with this and will think this letter will pronounce like this in English, oh, but it's not. It's just like the first part of this, oh. It's not O, right? It's just like the first part of O, okay? So, I have an example for you is ông, which means grandfather, okay? Ông, okay? This letter is I think it's like this sound in English. And then the example I have here is va, which means wife in English. Va. Okay, so the next letter is pa. So this one, let's look at the difference between this one and this one. I think it's just like English. So this one is ba, and this one is pa. Okay, so an example I have here is, I think you guys will know this word, which is fa. So this letter and then this letter will create a combination which will pronounce just like the F in English, the F sound in English, fa. And then we have a right here, f, right? A lot of foreigners pronounce fa. Yeah, it's almost correct, but you have to put in the tone, which is, I don't know what I should call this tone, but it's fa. It's like go down a bit and then go up and then like this. Fa. Just like the way this mark looks like fa. It's not pho, it's fa. Okay. Okay, the next letter is wa. w, right? Actually, it is like this. The way you can write it is this as well. And so for this letter and this letter, they never stand alone in Vietnamese. So in the case of ba, we have like H letter here, right? P, H, and then F, right? Fa. And then as well for this letter, this letter always follow an U in Vietnamese to form a W like this. And the example I have here for you is wa, which means present or gift in English. Okay? So I will go through the third row again. Ma, na, a, o, pa, wa. Okay? Last row. Ra, and the example is rag, which means garbage in English, garbage, or waste in English. Okay, rag. Next, sa. Okay, so you guys will notice that the way I pronounce this letter and this letter are exactly the same. It is because I have a certain accent, so I don't, kind of have separate pronunciation for these two letters. But in the north of Vietnam, people do pronounce these two letters differently. In this case, I would just say it's like what I normally do. Sa. And the example I have here is sa, which means be scared of something. Okay, so for example, if you say, I am scared of snakes. So in Vietnamese, you would say, I is tôi, right? I'm afraid, sợ, snake, rắn. Tôi sợ rắn. Tôi sợ rắn. Okay, so next letter. Tờ. And the example I have here is tôi, which means I in English. It's a personal pronoun, right? Tôi. I've heard a lot of foreigners say this letter wrong because they try to force and kind of push the air out of their mouth, which is incorrect. So in English we say this letter t, right? But in Vietnamese, ta. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just the way we say it. Ta. So for this word we don't say toi, we just say tôi. Next letter. O. And I think it's just like ooh. I think is similar to this simple in English, ooh, but it's shorter. Ooh, right? So this in English is like ooh. No, I think they are similar. Okay, so the example I have here is đủ, which means enough in English. Đủ. So it is the right here, and then O, and then the question, kind of like the question mark, đủ, đủ. I know this word is very difficult because it has this mark right here. Okay, next letter, O, 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 O. And the example I have here is sư tử, sư tử, sư, right here, so right here, right? And then sư tờ, tử, not tử, okay? Sư tử, not sư tử, sư tử, which means lion in English, sư tử. Okay, this v, and the example I have here is the, which means and in English. The. Next letter, sa. See, the way I pronounce this letter and this letter are just exactly the same because I'm Southerner, so I don't separate these two letters. Okay, sa. And then the word I have here is xinh, which means beautiful in English. English. Xinh. And the last letter is y. And this letter in Vietnamese, we are the same. They are not the same, but they are pronounced exactly the same. Y, right? And then the example I have here is yêu, yêu, which means love, which means to love in English. So let me go over the last row. R, sa, ta, u, v, sa, y. Okay, so let me go over the alphabet once. A, ớ, bờ, cờ, giờ, đờ, ê, g, hờ, y, ca, l, m, n, o, o, p, w, r, s, t, u, v, s, y. Okay, so that's it for today's lesson. See you guys next time.